Hi kids! Thank you for your magnificent artwork for day 1, 2, and 3. I really like it. It's so amazing and I'm so happy that you were able to think different art to represent the different stories. Okay? Let's go with our day 4 story. A giant staircase to heaven. This is the story from Genesis chapter 11. Come on, let's join teacher Nanay Christy for this story. Here you go. Noah and his family lived in a land and his children had children. And whose children had more children. And then those children had even more. Well, you get the picture. Until there were lots of people on earth once more. Now, back then, everyone spoke exactly the same language. So you didn't need to learn Swahili or Japanese or anything because you could say hello to anyone and they knew what you meant. One day, everyone was talking and they came with an idea. Let's build ourselves a beautiful city to live in. It can be our home and will be safe forever and ever. Then they had another idea. And let's build a really tall tower to reach up to heaven. Yes, they said. We'll say, look at us up here. And everyone will look up at us. And will look down on them. And then we'll know we are something. We'll be like God. We'll be famous and safe and happy. And everything will be all right. So, they got to work. Brick by brick, the tower grew higher and higher until it soared above the city, touching the sky. They built stairs in the tower to climb to the top. They built stairs in the tower to climb to the top. It was like a giant staircase to heaven. Look! They cheered. We're the ones. See what we can do with our very own hands. They're quite pleased with themselves. But God wasn't pleased with them. God could see what they were doing. They are trying to live without Him. But God knew that wouldn't make them happy or safe or anything. If they keep on like this, they would only destroy themselves. And God loved them so much, so let that happen. God loved them too much to let that happen. So, He stopped their plan. One morning, they went to work as usual. But everything was different. Their words were all new and funny. You see, God had given each person completely different language. Suddenly, no one understood what anyone else saying. Someone would say, "How do you do?" And the other person thought they said, "How ugly are you?" Isn't it funny? You could you could be saying nice like such a lovely morning and get a punch in the nose because they thought you said, "Hush up, you're boring." You couldn't even say pardon to check if you heard right because no one understood the word either. It wasn't easy to work together after that. As you can imagine, people were always quarreling and fighting and getting in a dreadful muddle and becoming grumpier and grumpier until at last they were all too cross to keep on building and just had to stop. After that, people scattered all over the world, which is how we end up with so many different languages to this day. You see, God knew however high they reach, however hard they tried, people could never go back to heaven by themselves. People didn't need a staircase, they need a rescuer. Because the way back to heaven wasn't a staircase, it was a person. People could never reach a heaven. People could never reach to heaven. So heaven would have come down to them. And one day it would. That is our story for today. Our story for today is about the Tower of Babel. Thank you, kids. And I hope you enjoy our story for today. You can now do your artwork. You could do anything that you think will symbolize our story for today. Just comment below your artwork and we will like to see your magnificent and wonderful artwork. And hope you will do it until the end of our story, and that will be on Christmas Day, the birth of our rescuer. Thank you, kids. See you again tomorrow.